Alright folks, welcome back. Alright, this is going to be extremely short. I have to get back to helping them get everyone caught up, so appreciate your understanding, but I just want to go over the two things I did today. Alright, so the first thing I was doing with my son, the dollar CAD. I was looking at this, and I liked how we took out this short-term high with this in here. Now even though these are relative equal highs, I like the idea of it at least trying to get back down below these lows here, and there's a fair value gap down in here that I was interested in as a potential downside objective. But more specifically, I was just looking for a scalp that would run below these relative equal lows. Now, let's take a look at the lipstick. So here's the idea I was looking at, running below here, potentially down into this order block, cleaning up this last little piece in here. And we had a market premium from this high down to this low. We did get back above the 50% level. And then right in here, this is the fair value gap. I'm just exaggerating it back here so you can see the end of this candle's low and the high of this candle here. So it's that little portion right there. So as the market traded up into that, I liked the idea of getting short. It was an optimal trade entry as well, and I wanted to see it run below here and then maybe try to get something as it's approaching this level here. Now, whether it was going to go higher later on in the day, take this out or not, I felt like it was worth it to take a shot, and the risk was extremely tight, very small. So, running it forward, you can see right away it looked like it was going for me, and I was telling my son, I said, now the next candle here should be a large candle and expand below here, and we didn't get that. So, while I was explaining to him what the dollar index was doing, if you go back and look at your dollar index during this whole time period, dollar was weak. Okay, and I said it could still drag it down. It might be a little sloppy before it gets down below these lows, but it should do it. And I was wrong. You can see how it screamed up against me. And while we were looking at the dollar and I was explaining things on it, it ran up and hit my stop. So it did run above the relative equal highs here. It's a loss. There's no excuses. There's no pity party. It's just what it is. I liked the setup, and if I can go back in time, I still would have taken the trade. It was there. I mean, it looked like it was going to give it to me, and the only thing I wish I would have done a little bit better was, instead of talking to my son, I wish I would have came back to this and lowered the stop just a little bit more. But originally when it first opened up on the position, the stop was right here at this high. Okay, so it was not a lot of pips at all at risk, 10 pips. So it wasn't a whole lot in terms of risk, but it wasn't a lot in terms of reward either. It was just me working within price. Now, this in itself is a nice study. I mean, it's not a lot of pips, and there's nothing really you can, celebrate about except for the fact that we have a nice delivery. The algorithm did reprice, but for whatever reason, the dollar CAD felt like it wanted to be anti-ICT today, and it just ran up on me. So I could have easily went back in and taken another trade, and I'll show you where. Right there. Fair value gap. I watched it, and I said, well, it looks like it could take off and take this high out. Maybe I can get that trade back. But in my head, I was saying that. But I'm trying to teach my son, Cody, because he takes way too many trades. He took 9 trades today and only came out with like $1 something. It wasn't a lot in terms of what he's risking is only 10 cents per pip. But he's taking too many trades. And I'm trying to convey to him that, look, you can't try to go in here and shotgun everything. He thinks he's running a Tommy gun. And you can't do that. And what it is he gets mad and he wants to get it back. And he treats it like a video game. And you can't just respawn if you blow your account over and over and over again. Eventually, you have to fix it. And that's what he's doing. He's opening up like $200 accounts and just blowing through them. He says, I'm learning from this, Dad. I said, no, actually, you're not. You're not learning, but, I'm frustrated as a dad. I can't get him to listen. So hopefully, if he blows this account out, then maybe he'll sit down and say, okay, tell me what I got to do to fix it. Because right now, so far, what I'm doing isn't working. So he's not listening. So there is no advantage, folks, with him being my son. He's my firstborn, and he still doesn't listen to Dad. despite me pointing it out and showing this is what is likely to occur, even though I'm wrong here. Okay, and that was one of the things he was more or less saying today. Look, you can get it wrong too. So how do I know if I'm listening to you if that's going to be the time when you're going to be wrong? It's the rules. You have to listen to the logic behind it. So while I'm not 100%, I'm better than 90. So I mean, it's a dad thing. I'm trying to get him to do it, but I took a loss today, and I showed him, look, with this loss, even though it did eventually scream up and take out here, I could have took the trade. I could have made money. I could have fixed it with just the same currency pair. But if I did that to show him that, it would just support, or confirm that what he's trying to do, while he doesn't understand exactly what he's doing in price, that's the best way to do it. And I don't want him to think that. And I don't want any of you to think that either. All right, so here's the Eurodollar. This is a 5-minute chart. You can see there's an imbalance right in here. The market did, in fact, trade up into that. We broke down. Fair value gap, really nice short there, optimal trade entry. And it sold off. Another area in here, fair value gap, beautiful delivery there. Broke down, came back in. About 50% of the range from the low. It was here, it came back up, rebalanced that bearish order block. Another displacement. And I'm watching the rejection block right here. So I sent a text to Cody. I said, look, watch Eurodollar, because I'm going long in that one, and I see a market maker buy model. We have a consolidation. From this low to the high, that's the consolidation I'm looking at. We break down out of it, come back up, bumps the bottom of the original consolidation, distribution, redistribution. So I'm expecting this rejection block to give me a turning point for a long. As it's trading down here, I'm going long. So I'm buying into all this movement here with the expectation it's going to go higher. We have a small little fair value gap in here. You'll see that when we drop down into a 1-minute chart, because I moved from 5-minute, which was the structure I was trading in, and everything should support the sell side of the curve on the buy side of the curve. So we have up close candle, it finds support there, rallies, up close candle, comes down in, and I'm already up in the area where I want to take my profit, which is above this short-term high. I don't necessarily trust that it's going to get above this original consolidation, which is one of the things that you learn with the market maker buy and sell models from me. You don't need to see it take out this. If it returns right back up into the butt end of the consolidation, that could be it. And that's what I want. I want to take an exit above the short-term high and rebalance to the bearish order block, which is these 2 consecutive candles. Now, in this market structure, let's take a look at that on a 1-minute chart. All right, so here's that 1-minute chart. Here's where it's trading down to the rejection block. Rallies back up, fair value gap. It fills it here, comes back down, rebalances into the order block. See that? Let me get this thing out of here. Take a look at that. You can see this down close candle right here. We trade into the mean threshold of that right there. Okay. Displacement comes back down in. Small little fair value gap and consecutive down close candles. That's your order block again. Rally. Rebalance in here. Comes back in and stretches all the way up into, after a fair value gap as well with a bullish order block, optimal trade entry, buy side liquidity pool, and all the way into here, and then that's where I'm exiting as it's getting up into there. Not with the expectation that we're going to run these highs, but just because it's back in the consolidation, and I just want to get even, and I had basically 3 times what I took as a loss I got back with that trade. So that's how it works, folks. I mean, if you get mad at the market and you say, okay, it took money from me, I'm going to have a pity party with myself and be upset and have emotions enter the fray. It's going to mess you up. So everything has to go back to the logic that sets the stage for why the market's going to move, where it's going to move. Now, I'm not stating by any means that all of you know enough to know, okay, well, I'm going to go in here and find these market maker buy and sell models on the 1-minute chart, and I'm going to be able to beat the brakes off of the market too. No, I'm not saying that at all, but over time you will. It's, again, one of those instances where if I show examples like this, people start to think that the 1-minute chart's the secret holy grail, and it's not. It's price. All I'm doing is looking for the same things that would be justified on a weekly chart, a daily chart, a 4-hour chart, a 1-hour chart, a 15-minute chart. I'm just applying it to the 1-minute chart. So it gives me the same type of setups, it just means that the pips are going to be smaller. And if I can find a winner, then and if I can get 20 pips, then I'm going to get it. That's where I'm going to aim for that. So you saw the loss. It was in a live account. It's very, very small because I'm trying to teach my son that you don't need to be worrying about how much money you're earning. You don't need to be worrying about how many pips you're earning. It's the percentage gain and managing the risk. So while I did take a loss, and I absolutely lost, it wasn't one of those things in the past where I've done something just to show a loss. I meant for that trade in the dollar CAD to deliver underneath those relative equal lows, and it just didn't do it. So I was wrong there, and I was still able to fix the boo-boo, but not go back with revenge trying to get it out of the same currency, because in the early days, that's what I used to do with the bond market. I used to get really mad at it when I didn't really understand it yet, and if it would take money from me, I'd go back in and, I'm going to flex on it and pull out my sword and start doing battle, and I'm going to take home a win and clear my loss and take home with interest. And it would just be a bigger loss, and I would be mad. So these are all lessons I pull from when I go into the marketplace. If I lose, okay, whatever, I'm wrong. But I also said, if I'm wrong, I'm going to share it with you. So it's not a matter of being perfect. It's not about being perfect. You're not going to be perfect. No one's perfect. Okay, Price is perfect, and I just read it wrong. And there's nothing else that needs to be said about it. I'm not angry. I'm not disappointed in myself, because honestly, I can justify that trade with 98% of the things that I would look for in a trade. And that's, to me, that's high probability, because all I was looking for was a small little run down below those relative equal lows. That's it. And if it would have given it to me, great. And I would have shared that today. But it was a loss, so I shared that, and I corrected it with the euro dollar. So anyway, just so you guys know, if you're new and you're struggling with these types of problems that I'm sharing with what my son Cody, he's encountering all those same things right now too. And even with his dad being me, I can't bridge that. I can't connect to him where he just stops doing what he's doing and just listens to the rule-based ideas. He doesn't do it. And I don't know what it's going to take for him to learn it. But anyway, pray for him. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll do our midweek review, and I will probably talk to you on Twitter as well tomorrow. Okay? Until then, I wish you good luck and good trading.